Hello guys, good evening. Welcome to today's price action analysis video. This is the price action analysis of the 26th of July 2022 and we are on the Bank Nifty chart, the 5-minute chart of Bank Nifty here. So let us start analyzing Bank Nifty. Now here we could see that Bank Nifty had opened flat today and Bank Nifty had a support below it where it opened. So this was an important area where it had a support. Even Nifty had that support. And you could see that Bank Nifty had bounced from here right yesterday. So I had said that this level is going to be an important level, and we saw that Bank Nifty broke that level pretty easily on the 5-minute time frame. So here price just kept falling, right? It just came down and just kept falling like this. So whenever there is a breakout like this of from any important level, usually the breakout will not sustain, because the breakout needs some power, and if the breakout does not have any particular power, then it will not sustain. So you could see here that Bank Nifty had gone up here. If you zoom this out a little bit, you can see here, see Bank Nifty had shot up here, then it came down falling, and it continued the fall from yesterday without a stop, broke the level, went down, then took support and started coming up again, right? So whenever you see such a breakout candlestick, don't, or you should fight the temptation of going short here on such candlesticks. You should resist the temptation here. Why should you resist the temptation? Because this is a parabolic breakout. It comes one after another. If do you see any green candle here? There's just one small green candle here, otherwise they're all red candles, right from the start, the 9:15 AM candle up to the 10 AM candle, we can see back to back red candles, and the fall had started after this consolidation with this candle, and it had continued right down to here, this point. So then Bank Nifty actually took a support here, it bounced and then it came up again. So if you had gone short here keeping your SL here, then your SL was gone today. So that is why I always keep saying that there should be a consolidation, something like this, and only when you see something like this happening and then there is a breakout, then that breakout might be sustainable. But then see, this was not the breakout candlestick because we already had the reversal here and we had a day low support here. So obviously that was not to be considered a breakout candlestick at all, because the breakout had already failed here. And so nothing really to talk about in Bank Nifty except for the fact that we had a very normal or very narrow CPR there, and in spite of and then we could see that there was a trend in the initial half of the day, or right up to, not even initial half, it was actually up to only maybe somewhere around 10:10 AM. So yeah, so about an hour or so we could see some sort of selling, and then again market kind of stabilized, it went up, then spent a lot of time in that specific area and then kept going sideways. So basically it was pretty much range bound today after the initial onslaught of selling. So if you can see this, the price has spent a lot of time within this particular zone here. So it has not really gone anywhere. Now if you were to measure that zone up, you can see from this to this area, it's somewhere within the range of around 200 points. So Bank Nifty has particularly traded between the range of around 200 points the entire day today, and that is the reason why we see we don't see a very wide CPR tomorrow. So the CPR for tomorrow at this point in Bank Nifty is less than 80 points, which is by Bank Nifty standards pretty narrow. So an averagely narrow CPR, although today was a pretty narrow CPR. It was almost a single line, not though you could see that there were 3 lines there, but it was a very tight CPR. So nothing really to talk about in Bank Nifty here. Usually that was what I wanted to tell you, that usually when you see back-to-back red candles or back-to-back green candles breaking out of a level, you should avoid the temptation of shorting there. So depending on this sort of price action, we can go ahead and mark some levels now. You could see that this level has acted as a resistance because it has not been approached yet today, but the price has kind of continued the fall. So that level seems to be an important level now, because the fall has started from here and it has continued, right? So we'll keep that level intact. And then you could see that Bank Nifty had taken resistance and could not go up from this level also. So you can see this level here. This is also an important level. So what we will do is we will mark it in red and we will mark it in a dotted fashion, so that we know that It's not a very big supply zone, but that is an important resistance zone in Bank Nifty. So for tomorrow's trading session, you should keep an eye out on that level. Just be careful around that level. Tomorrow you might be able to see some reaction around that level. We will delete this level now. It's of no importance to us, but we will mark the day high today as a supply zone. So we will mark a supply zone here on the day high. We have seen a jump from the day low also here. So the day low has acted as a support. So you could see that Bank Nifty had actually bounced from here about 200 points, right? And but that is not a very significant bounce, right? So the main demand zone is right down here, and the level is somewhere around the 36286 level. So you can see that this was the low of the opening candle of the 22nd of July, or rather the 22nd of July, and then on the 25th the price never really attempted to reach down to that level, and we could see that there is a reversal right before that level. So that level is still active here, and we will not be marking the PDL as an important demand zone today. I don't see it as an important demand zone because you could see that price has actually gone up and then it has come down almost to that level again. So it's not a demand zone, but we will obviously keep an eye out on the PDL. The PDL is always an important level. The previous day high and previous day low are important levels for intraday traders. We have the Virgin CPR, which we have extended from the 22nd of July. Okay, and I think that should be all. I'm not marking today's Virgin CPR, the simple reason being that it is a very narrow CPR and it's not going to really act as a very strong resistance or support to price tomorrow. So I'm not really marking that level. Otherwise we have all other levels marked and we don't have any particular gap to mark today. Okay, so now let's head over to Nifty, and this is Nifty for you. Now Nifty here has opened with an extremely huge candlestick. It was almost about 80 points if we just measure it up. Like I measured up the points there in the morning. Yes, it is around 80 points or more, and that indicates that it is a very strong selling zone. So we saw much more selling in Nifty than in Bank Nifty. Although Nifty also did tend to trade in an entire tight range today for the most part of the day, but we could see that initially Nifty had actually taken a fall of around 140 points. So that is something that you should keep in line with for the next or the upcoming trading sessions. So you should keep that in mind. Whenever price goes to that level again, it's going to be a very important level to mark. So we are marking it right away as an important supply zone. So you can see that Nifty also had a very strong Virgin CPR, very weak Virgin CPR today, or a CPR today, because it is a Virgin CPR kind of, because the candlestick has opened above it and gone down, but we will not mark it as a Virgin CPR because it is extremely tight. So we don't want to mark that level, and this level here we will mark this zone here. This level was the level where we could see that yesterday Nifty had bounced. So Nifty had taken a bounce from there and that level was broken as a support today. Then you can see that that level has acted so beautifully as a resistance. Once it is broken as a support, it has acted as a wonderful resistance here. So that is the more important part here, that you can see that once support is broken, it acts as a resistance. And that is how you should be able to analyze and mark levels on the chart and be ready with those levels in the live market also, because those levels are the levels that help you identify the correct opportunities in the market. And you could see that the PDL was broken in the very first candlestick, so this is a very strong selling. So usually what happens is, if you short this candle here, it's not a good idea to short this candle here because it's a very big candle with an SL above here is going to be a very big SL. So the best place to short or trade on this day was a likely trade where you could see this sort of a reversal pattern at the retest of the resistance here. This is a resistance right now. So if this is a resistance and it is holding, then you should be able to short this particular retest. So this is called a retest entry, since this candlestick had broken out of it and this candlestick had acted as had shown that it is holding as a resistance. Then once this particular candlestick is formed, you can go and short this level, keep this SL out here, and then ideally you should take your profit at the S2 pivot here or at the border of the gap here. but again we did not see very convincing price action at this point, so no real point in taking a trade there suffering from FOMO. You should be able to see a good price action from there, but it becomes very difficult for price to actually bounce from here so high and then break into the previous day's range. Here you could see that the 1:25 p.m. candle had broken into the previous day's range, but it had not actually broken out of the wick here. The wick was this candlestick high here, so this was the wick here, right? And so you can mark this wick, and you can see now that had you gone long on this candlestick thinking that the price is now going to go up, then that did not happen today. It actually tended to reverse from there. So that is the way how you should be analyzing the levels in the live market, and you should always keep it in mind that it is no point in running behind such candlesticks. Okay, and there is a saying, do not try to catch a falling knife, and that is why you should never run behind such candlesticks. Don't short here. It's a big mistake shorting here and keeping your SL here. Instead, wait for some at least basic price action to be shown. So if you were to wait and you were to see that there was a retest of this level, then this was a good opportunity to go short on. Why? Because whenever you see that a level is acting as a resistance in the initial part of the day, then if it acts as another resistance in the later half of the day, then the chances of the price respecting that level are higher. And then if the price is jumping from this level, then when it has already rallied so much, the possibility or the probability of the price going higher from here is very little. So the higher probability of it would be to reverse from that level. So now we will just go ahead and mark out some levels here. We'll delete this level now. We have this level which where price has acted as a resistance twice, so we will mark this level now, and we'll mark this high of the candlestick of 1:30 p.m. and we can see now that the gap is partially filled, so we will reduce the gap size here. We'll reduce it to the previous day low, that is today's low, and we will extend the gap forward. We have a major or an important supply zone here, and this level has also shown us that price had actually opened below it. So price today, SGX Nifty was showing a 20 to 23 point negative opening today in relation to the close, but we actually opened a bit higher, but then this candlestick became a very big candlestick and it actually opened at the CPR, but it broke right through the previous day low also. Okay, and let's check on the 15-minute time frame. What sort of levels do we see here? Yes, I think these are levels that we have marked, and these levels will be sufficient for now in today's price action. We're just extending the Virgin CPR coming from the 20th of July, since today is the 27th. Now that Virgin CPR's power will be diminishing, but we will still carry it forward. Okay, and I think this should be all for the important levels in Nifty as well as in Bank Nifty. So if you have any doubts, please leave comments in the comment section below, and if you have liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I land a new video. Thank you for your support, guys, and thank you for watching, and have a wonderful evening. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.